Hello, and welcome back! Today, we are diving into an essential topic in English grammar, the passive voice. The passive voice is used when we want to focus on the action rather than the person doing it. You will hear it in formal writing, news reports, and even in daily conversations. Let's break it down step by step. What is the passive voice? In an active sentence, the subject performs the action. For example, the chef cooked the meal. In a passive sentence, the focus is on the object receiving the action. For example, the meal was cooked by the chef. Structure of the passive voice. Object plus the verb to be in the correct tense plus the past participle of the main verb. Now, let's explore how to use the passive voice in different tenses. Present passive. We use the present passive when the focus is on an action happening now. Structure. Present simple, am, is, or plus the past participle. Present continuous, am, is, or being plus the past participle. Examples. The emails are sent every morning. English is spoken in many countries. The offices are cleaned every night. A lot of coffee is drunk in Italy. The packages are delivered before noon. The students are taught grammar every week. Present continuous. A new bridge is being built in the city. A movie is being filmed in the park. The project is being completed on time. The house is being painted this week. The documents are being prepared for the meeting. A new road is being constructed near my house. Past passive. We use the past passive when talking about actions completed in the past. Structure. Past simple, was or were plus the past participle. Past continuous, was or were being plus the past participle. Examples. Past simple. The book was written in 1850. The cake was baked by my grandmother. The invitation was sent yesterday. The painting was stolen last night. The movie was directed by a famous filmmaker. The tests were corrected by the teacher. Past continuous. The house was being cleaned when I arrived. A new road was being built in the city. The problem was being discussed when the manager walked in. The emails were being written when the power went out. The decorations were being arranged for the party. The machines were being repaired in the factory. Future passive. We use the future passive for actions that will happen in the future. Structure. Will be plus the past participle. Examples. The new policy will be announced tomorrow. The stadium will be built next year. The invitations will be sent next week. The tests will be graded by the teacher. A new store will be opened in the mall. The house will be sold soon. Passive with modals. Modals like can, must, should, or could can also be used in the passive. Structure. Modal plus be plus the past participle. Examples. The rules must be followed by everyone. A solution should be found soon. This task can be completed by the team. The problem must be solved immediately. A new law could be introduced next year. The documents should be signed by the manager. When should you use the passive voice? When the doer is unknown or unimportant. Example, my wallet was stolen. We do not know who did it. When focusing on the action rather than the person. Example, a new law was passed last week. Informal writing and scientific reports. Example, the experiment was conducted in a laboratory. Tips to master the passive voice. Use it when necessary. The passive voice is great, but do not overuse it. Remember the verb to be. The correct form of to be is key. Practice converting active to passive. It is the best way to get familiar with it. Quick recap. Present, the work is done every day. Past, the cake was baked by my grandmother. Future, the invitations will be sent next week. With modals, the rules must be followed. And that is it for today. Now you have a solid understanding of how and when to use the passive voice in English. Try practicing by turning active sentences into passive ones. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next episode. Keep learning and keep growing.